Good, it's your boy Dot from Diamond Out Coaching Entertainment. Coaching links down below. All my links down below, bro. Look, when it comes to this video, right, it's gonna be some real sauce. You're gonna need this shit, bro. Do not sleep on this video. I recorded this is my fourth time recording this shit because the first time it was 44 minutes and literally it was the camera was freaking reversed to the other side. The second time my iPad kept on restarting for no reason. The third time my phone literally just cut off and I had hella storage. It just cut off. Black ass screen. I'm like, okay, bro. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna try this shit out. This is my fourth time. And I could have said fuck this shit, but I love y'all so much. And this is a really important video. It got some real sauce in it. And it's like, I'm just gonna y'all know how this shit go, bro. So with that being said, we're gonna talk about what is the power of devotion. Why do you want this power? Because you do. How do you obtain this power? What is prayer? The importance of prayer. How to pray in general. How to pray for spiritual growth, how to pray for spiritual gifts, how to pray for manifestation, how to pray for better connection. So with that being said, right, what is the power of devotion? The power of devotion is the power you get from devoting yourself to the higher aspects of yourself and the higher aspects of life. The powers come in the form of sweet, fiery, and devotional feelings that you experience towards the higher aspects of yourself and life. Now, why would you even want that power? Because nigga, that shit gay. You know what I'm saying? What? All that love shit, ew, it's gay. Yeah. You know, that's how some niggas react to love shit. You know what I'm saying? So why would you want this power? The power of devotion allows you to stay in alignment with all the higher parts of yourself and life. If you allow, it will allow you to stay identified with and in alignment with the higher realities of life, as well as allow you to overcome any negativity. You see, when you're devoted to something, right, you have an intense love for it, you know what I'm saying? And you are emotionally connected to this thing. So when other things come around that contradict and go against this thing, the emotions of that thing cannot pull you away from the thing you're actually devoted to. Like, you may love this one thing, right? But this one thing is not in alignment with this other thing that you're devoted to, right? So even though this shit feels pretty fucking good, your devotion is way stronger. So it's just like this burning love. It's just like, get that other shit out of here. And it becomes pretty easy. You know what I'm saying? So like, devotion is pretty powerful. If you want to really stay on track with your spiritual path and actually be able to feel higher guidance, actually be able to feel this higher love and what your guides and what your higher self and what certain planets and just all the other shit feel like, you're going to want this devotional shit, bro. This literally activates powers also. It clearly lets you, you'll get so good, you can literally feel anything because you're opening your feelings up to everything at a certain point. And when you can feel everything, you become very empathic and eventually telepathic too. You know what I'm saying? So, even Ryan Cropper would say that shit. Get his course and fuck with your boy here and that boy too, or that man, because we men. But you know what I'm trying to say. Anyway, bam. How do you obtain this power? This power is obtained by you doing devotional practices that open you up to the higher aspects of yourself and life. One of the main practices is prayer. You also do have like doing certain poses, bowing and shit like that, doing certain offerings, you know what I'm saying? You have given certain libations, you do have saying certain mantras in a devotional way. You do have using certain images like you hugging a god or goddess or something like that, or giving love to a certain planet. There's all different ways to show devotion, right? But prayer is one of the main ways. Now, and I might mention the other Johns also, you know what I'm saying? So we're going to get into it. You know what I'm saying? What is prayer, though? Prayer is a way to invoke the energies and intelligences of higher aspects of yourself as well as life. It is a way to directly communicate with the divine in order to ask it for things, as well as a way for you to show gratitude, appreciation, and devotion. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, the importance of prayer, right? Prayer is important because it is an easy way to directly communicate with the divine and build your devotion to it. The more that you genuinely pray, the more your devotion grows. This is because when you actually be like, hey, let's say you want to pray to Jupiter. Hey, Jupiter, you know what I'm saying? You don't just say, hey, Jupiter, do X, Y. No. You say, hey, Jupiter, and try to actually feel Jupiter. You know what I'm saying? When you can actually feel it, then you start asking it for shit or just telling it shit or whatever the fuck. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, right, the more devotion you build, the easier it is for you to emotionally feel connected to the divine. Now, with that being said, the importance of being emotionally connected to the divine isn't my fault. It's important to be emotionally connected to the divine because the divine will also communicate through emotions. Things of the divine are usually subtle, so they are harder to feel than the more solidified and dense emotions. Once you can feel the divine, though, you'll be able to follow its guidance and feel it more. My fault. You'll be able to feel its guidance and follow it more because of how, especially because of how good it feels. And here's what this means, right? The divine, right? Let's say that the feeling of it is at like a 1,000, right? You know what I'm saying? But it could go down to a 500, right? Now, let's say that the 500 is the feeling of love, which is somewhat subtle. You have love, peace. These are all subtle emotions, right? But lower than that, you have shit like anger, fear, shame, guilt, all these dense emotions, right? If you could only feel these dense emotions, you can't feel the more subtle things, right? But once you achieve that 500 state of love, then the other subtle divine beings that are at this 1,000 can actually meet you at that 500 because you can at least feel them on that subtle level, which to them is pretty dense, but to you is still subtle. You know what I'm saying? So these beings and these intelligences and these energies are very subtle, right? And if you can't feel subtle emotions like love and peace and stuff like that, it's going to be hard to feel these more subtle things that are more subtle than love and peace. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, right, here's how you pray in general. When you pray, you should try to get into a calm and clear state and then also eventually become focused. Like try to clear your mind and become calm and then focus on something you actually want to pray to. You know what I'm saying? So once you're relatively focused, right, you must decide who/what you want to pray to as well as your purpose for praying. So you could pray to source, your higher self, or your higher selves, because you do have multiple, you know what I'm saying? By the way, when I say source, I mean the source of creation, you know what I'm saying? The thing that literally makes everything. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not saying the universe, because the universe implies everything in the universe. So if you say, hey, universe, help me, that could literally mean a spirit guide, that could mean a planet, that could mean whatever the fuck. Now, if you feel like when you say the universe, you mean the source, it will be more source-like, or it's going to be just beings that are very connected to the source. You know what I'm saying? If you feel like if you say the universe and you feel like space and stuff like that, it may be certain planets or the sun or certain stars, and the sun is a star, obviously, but yeah, you know what I'm saying? So that's what I mean by source. And your higher self or selves, you can't multiple higher selves because in your past lives, right? If you were a very high dimensional being, right? You could have achieved a high level of awareness. So that part of yourself clearly helped you inside this life because it was super duper conscious and understood that time is not real and it could guide you inside this life also. Well, time is real, but time is all existing right now. So in that high state, they can help guide you. You know what I'm saying? You can have multiple higher selves from multiple past lives. Yes, that is true. You know what I'm saying? You could talk to your spirit guides. You know what I'm saying? You could talk to ETs, angels, fairies. And by the way, your spirit guides can be ETs, angels, fairies, ancestors, all that shit. You know what I'm saying? The main ones you really pray to most of the time are literally source, higher selves, or spirit guides, but you can also just go to separate ETs, separate angels, separate fairies, or gods and goddesses. Now, gods and goddesses, right, tend to be different parts of yourself and nature. Like, for example, I forgot this goddess's name, right? But in there's a goddess, right, who helps you obtain a certain level of like seriousness, willpower, and discipline, right? And her energy is heavily attached to Mars, right? But if you pray to her, right, you also invoke different parts of your personality that deal with discipline and different spirit gods that deal with discipline. You know what I'm saying? So when you pray to a god or goddess, right, if you don't know what a god or goddess actually is, most of the time when you pray to them, you're going to literally just attract the spirit that just takes on the form of that god or goddess, whether it's a good or a bad spirit. In fact, some spirit guides can be aware of the fact that, okay, I'm the spirit that's helping them do this one thing. However, they associate that with a certain god or goddess. So when I come to talk to this person and help them with this one thing, I'm going to come inside the form of that god or goddess because I cannot show my actual true form, or else they may get scared or some shit like that, or just not fully understand or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So your spirit guides will take those forms also. Or it could just be your imagination. A certain part of your imagination literally split itself off and then attach itself to the form of a god or goddess. Like, for example, when you dream, right, your imagination splits, and then you have you and like your friend, you know what I'm saying? But it's all just your imagination. But you could also have a dream, right, where you're healing your friend, right? And then your friend also says, bro, I had a dream that you healed me. Because it was more than just a dream. You guys were actually in the same place. So it's like your imagination, like your imagination can literally split off, and then you could just be imagining shit and stuff like that. Or your imagination could just be used to interpret shit. Because your imagination can be used as a way for your spirit guides to interact with you. That is a thing. But you should not just be imagining shit and make shit up by yourself. You know what I'm saying? That's the difference between like a dream and like a, you know, an experience where you and your friend have the same experience. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is, right, inside your version, right, you may be healing them inside of like a certain temple, right? But they just see it as them getting healed inside their bed, because their imagination cannot fully interpret the temple, but you can. You know what I'm saying? So their imagination still shows them what's going on in some kind of a way, but they can't see the full picture type shit. That's how your imagination interacts with other sort of realities and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. Now, with that being said, right, you could also talk to nature. You know what I'm saying? And here's another example of god or goddess, right? With Horus, right? You know what I'm saying? If it's like Horus, right? This is the part of yourself. This is like your higher self, right? You know what I'm saying? But your higher self could be different from my higher self. Yours may be on some like healing shit, right? Mine may be on some like fucking leaving my body shit. You know what I'm saying? Someone else may be on some teacher shit. Someone else may be on some motherfucking magical shit. Who would the fuck? You know what I'm saying? But Horus can help with those aspects. You know what I'm saying? And different god or goddesses also can help with that shit too, like a magic god or goddess or a magical planet, or you know what I'm saying? So you can also talk to nature, right? As in, you can talk to the earth in general. You can talk to specific trees, because certain trees can make you feel aggression. Some trees can make you feel peace and calm. You know what I'm saying? You can talk to certain plants and flowers that have certain properties. Like some plants may be for some healing shit. Some plants maybe for some magical properties shit. You know what I'm saying? You could talk to different bodies of water, like an ocean for like cleansing, like emotional cleansing, or different elements like fire for spiritual cleansing, or air for intellectual cleansing. You know what I'm saying? You can talk to the heavens. And when I say the heavens, in general, that's like the sky, space, the stars, the planets, all that shit, right? You know what I'm saying? Or it could be specific. You can talk to strictly the sun for like solar energy, or the moon for like the whole metaphor of how the moon is like your soul and your mind, because the moon reflects the light of the spirit the same way that your soul and your mind reflects the light. My fault. The moon reflects the light of the sun the same way that your soul reflects the light of the spirit. You know what I'm saying? And your mind reflects the light of the spirit also. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, that's all that shit. You also have the heavens, right? As in the sky. You know what I'm saying? Well, my fault. You have the sun, the moon, different galaxies like Andromeda that has Andromedans. You have constellations like Leo. You have individual stars like Arcturus inside the Bootes constellation. But Arcturus has Arcturians. You can fuck with them. You know what I'm saying? You can talk to different planets like Jupiter, different asteroids like Chiron for healing wisdom. You know what I'm saying? You can also talk to your future self. And here's how this shit works. Your future self, right, exists right now. And it thinks a certain way, feels a certain way, and acts a certain way, right? You could download the thoughts, emotions, and actions of your future self right now. You know what I'm saying? And like, here's an example. As a kid, I would always be like, yo, I'm going to time travel and tell myself not to do certain shit, right? Then I would think, well, shit, doesn't that mean that while doing the thing I said that I'm going to tell myself not to do, that I would see my future self come through? Like, for example, shouldn't I be right here, but also see my future self come through and say, hey, don't do this shit? But here's the thing, right? Imagine, like, there'll be times where I'm going through something, right? And it's like, it sucks at first, but I start thinking like, it's okay, it's gonna be all right, things will get better, my future self is enjoying life, it's happy that this shit happened and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? I'll always have those thoughts, right? And now, as my future self, I talk to my younger self. I think about shit I was going through, and guess what I say? It's okay, things get better. I actually enjoy what happened now. You know what I'm saying? So I literally talk to my past self. It's like my past self is getting the thoughts that I'm talking to that I'm saying to myself in the current moment. You know what I'm saying? And guess what? I talk to my future self also. And when I get to that future self, I'm gonna be talking to this version of myself right now. You know what I'm saying? So all time exists right now. And your future self, your past self exists right now. You can literally download the thoughts of all these different timelines. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. Now, with that being said, what can you pray for? You can pray for advice and guidance. You can pray to help yourself develop certain spiritual gifts. You can pray to aid your manifestations. You can pray to show love, appreciation, gratitude. You could pray to build a better connection with whatever you're praying to. And you can also pray to or over something or someone to activate certain intelligences that have different attributes and power. So pretty much that's like invoking something, which is what prayer naturally does. When you say, hey, spirit guide, you invoke a spirit guide, you know what I'm saying? Or, hey, hold up. You could, like, for example, right? So when you pray, you're invoking something, right? That's what prayer actually does. You could pray over shrooms, right? To activate and invoke certain properties and intelligences within inside of it. You know what I'm saying? So you could be like, hey, shrooms, help me, you know what I'm saying, with past life shit. Or like shrooms, help me better understand myself. Or marijuana, help me have an open mind. Or marijuana, help me, become calm and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? You could pray to bro, 'cause I know a lot of y'all smoke weed and y'all may do shrooms also, but are you praying over that shit? You got, bro, pray over your shrooms, pray over your weed. You can, because what happens is you invoke certain properties inside the weed and inside of your own self that help with whatever you're praying for. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, right, you can also pray over people to heal them, or animals or plants, which is going to either activate their own healing mechanism, it's going to transfer your healing energy to them, it's going to open them up to healing energies like source, certain natural forces, you know what I'm saying, their spirit guides, or it's going to be a combination of all them shit, you know what I'm saying? Intent is very important. For if you have no intent, you're not going to have full control over what your prayer does, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you just say, I want to heal this person, right, and you don't really know, and you don't know how you want to do it type shit, you may transfer your own energy to them. You know what I'm saying? When the source shit would have been better. Now, if you have inside yourself and you kind of feel like, okay, I want to heal them with source energy, then that shit will pop up. You know what I'm saying? You don't got to always just say, I'm healing them with source. If you can feel it inside yourself, then that's what's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? But if you have no idea at all, it's a bit more random. Intent is very important. So, once you decide what you're praying for, and what you're praying to, you know what I'm saying? Say your prayers, you know what I'm saying? Once you do that. And then just either let the prayers flow or use a prayer that's already written down. You can make your own prayers that you like, you know what I'm saying? You can have a prayer from the Bible, from some Hindu shit, from some Chetawat, Netter Egyptian shit. You may get a prayer from your spirit guide. You may get a prayer from a certain planet, and then write that down and say that prayer every single time you want something from that planet, you know what I'm saying? So bam. Also, right, understand that when you pray, you are invoking and summoning different energies inside and or outside of yourself. Be aware of this and try to feel the energies activating. You know what I'm saying? Try to actually feel them. Also, understand that when you pray, you are always technically talking to an aspect of yourself, since we are actually everything and everyone. At our base, what we all are is just awareness, just the ability to perceive. And the ability to perceive perceived itself and then became conscious and then made all this shit. And what you are is a small individual point of that awareness inside of a big giant ocean of awareness. You know what I'm saying? So you are connected to the ocean. If you're a drop of water in an ocean, you're still a part of that ocean. The water is the same as that ocean. It's just that the ocean contains everything inside of it also. So you are everything and everyone. You can connect to everything and everyone. You can connect to that shit on a feeling level. You can feel shit, and those things can feel you also. You know what I'm saying? Literally. On some, like, I'm telling you, bro, on some quantum entanglement shit. You know what I'm saying? But I'm explain that one a bit later. You know what I'm saying? The quantum entanglement shit. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, right, you are everything and everyone. So when you're praying, understand that you're talking to a part of yourself. So be aware of this and try to actually feel that inside of yourself. If you pray to the sun, feel the sun inside of you. This will build your emotional link to the sun. So whenever the sun is communicating with you, you can actually feel this is the sun. You know what I'm saying? You can actually feel what the sun feels like. And the sun can feel you also, literally. Because if you're just going around not talking to shit, it's like it's not noticing you. If you say, hey, notice me, now it knows about you. Even if it isn't conscious and saying, hey, you're my friend whose name is Tim, it's still interacting with you. Like, for example, right? If you cook a steak, right? The steak is still cooking. It doesn't have to know, holy shit, I'm being cooked. So if you talk to a planet, right, it could activate energies of the planet. Even if it doesn't know, oh my God, I'm being talked to, it could still feel you and react to what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? The same way that the steak reacts to being cooked and stuff. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's the same shit, even if it's not conscious. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, right, always remember to listen and be aware after you pray. When you listen, it's not always with your ears and with hearing words. Like, you can have your prayers answered in the form of hearing words, but it could also come with seeing images or feeling impulses and emotions. You know what I'm saying? Just pay attention to all kinds of different signs. Like, for example, you may fucking pray, and after you're done, you hear like a bird chirp, or a bug die, or a fucking ambulance go off for a couple seconds, or you hear like a fucking car just honk his horn. You know what I'm saying? Or you hear like a fucking loud ass truck just go by. You know what I'm saying? It could be any just random ass shit. You know what I'm saying? And understand that if you're always hearing these things after you pray, bro, there's a certain reason for that. You know what I'm saying? On some scientific shit, right, with quantum entanglement, right? It states that once you see me, right, we're entangled. Therefore, I always affect you and you always affect me. You know what I'm saying? Here's an example of this shit, right? Like a picture, right? If you see a picture of a dragon, right, it's now entangled with you. And that picture can make you feel fear, love, anger, whatever the fuck, you know what I'm saying? But that picture could always affect you now. Like, whenever you think about that picture, even if you don't see it, it's still affecting you. It's entangled with you. You're entangled with your surroundings and everything else around you. You literally are everything. Remember the whole drop inside the ocean thing? You know what I'm saying? You're a point of awareness. You are a point of awareness inside of a giant ocean of awareness. You know what I'm saying? You are entangled with everything. So when you pray and do certain shit, it affects a lot of different things. It affects people who may just randomly honk a horn. It affects people it affects people who may just randomly turn on the ambulance alarm. It affects birds that just may want to chirp. It affects bugs that may just die at a certain point and give off a loud ass noise. You know what I'm saying? So look out for all kinds of signs. You know what I'm saying? They could come in the form of dreams, images. Like I said, it could be so much different shit. So just be aware of that, okay? It can even come in the form of smells, my nigga. I mean, you may pray to your grandma, then fucking smell her perfume type shit. You know what I'm saying, bro? So here's how you pray for spiritual growth. First things first. Who or what do you want to talk to? Usually it's source, spirit guides, or higher self, right? And your spirit guides can include the ETs and the angels, you know what I'm saying? But if you feel drawn to a certain god or goddess, or like if you feel drawn to the sun, or a certain planet, or like a certain herb or some other shit, then go ahead. Especially if you need specific qualities. For example, right? If you want spiritual growth in the form of discipline, right? You may ask Saturn for help with that, because Saturn helps with discipline and restriction. You know what I'm saying? Next, once you pick who or what you're talking to, decide in what ways you want to grow spiritually. Do you want more spiritual understanding? Because, I mean, shit, Thoth can help with more spiritual, intellectual understanding. You know what I'm saying? Do you want, and when you talk to Thoth, right, that's just activating your own intellect and spirit guides that are intellectual and can help you with that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? So that's what that is. You know what I'm saying? And other forces that attach themselves to the Thoth energy. You know what I'm saying? But, yeah. Do you want spiritual understanding? Do you want spiritual discipline? Do you want spiritual experiences? Spiritual feelings? What did you want? Decide on that shit, right? Then once you decide all of this, invoke the presence of whatever you want to talk to, and then state what you want. You know what I'm saying? So you'll be like, hey, spirit guides, I would like help with becoming more disciplined. I want to be able to pray at these times every single day. I want to be able to resist certain urges that contradict my spiritual path. I want to be able to not eat past a certain time. I want to be able to stay devoted to my certain practices and my certain prayers and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? You would just say all these things. You know what I'm saying? And what this does is the fact that because when you say, hey, spirit guides, actually feel like, hey, spirit guides, and try to feel them. And then that's what you want, right? Now, what happens is, right, especially with spirit guides, especially with really high ones, right? You're giving them permission to actually help you now. Because without permission, the very high ones do not want to impede on your free will. But if you say, hey, you're allowed to help me now, they will help you. And let me give you an example of how they help with discipline, right? Let's say they want to eat. Let's say they want to eat past a certain time, right? Now, if you don't allow them to help you, they can't give you certain thoughts and emotions. You know what I'm saying? Unless you really need it. Because if you really need it, a part of you is saying, well, everyone wants to help me, please help me. Like if you just feel really down bad and you're like, bro, I would do anything for help right now, type shit. Your guides could take that as permission. You know what I'm saying? Because you would do anything, right? Including listen to your guides. You know what I'm saying? But anyway. When you say, guys, you can help me, they can now send you certain thoughts. So let's say that at the time that you don't want to eat, right? Let's say you don't want to eat past 5, right? Let's say at 6 o'clock, you just get a thought to just go walk outside. You think it's coming from you, but it's really not. You just get drawn to walk outside, right? And then while walking outside, you get a craving to eat a certain kind of food, right? Now, because you're outside, you can't eat that food. But inside the crib, you may have actually ate that food. But now you're outside, you can't eat that food, right? And when you get back to the crib, the craving is now gone. You don't want to eat no more type shit. You know what I'm saying? So that's an example about how like your guys can help you. They can literally make you have certain thoughts. They literally make you go certain places, and now you can't do certain shit. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is, right, your guys need permission for that specifically because like sometimes, like for example, let's say let's say you want to stop doing some shit, right? And then let's say you want to like stop using something, right? And you can't and you just can't stop using it, right? But when you ask your guides for help, they make you lose it. Now, if you didn't ask for help and they just made you lose it, that shit can make you mad as fuck. You're like, oh, I just lost this shit. But if you ask for help, right, and then your guides make you lose it, you can literally be able to feel my guides kind of did. You'll literally be able to feel them like, okay, they did this type shit. And you'll be more accepting and open to it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like way different now, okay? So when it comes to spiritual gifts, right? Same protocol. Who or what are you talking to? You know what I'm saying? Spirit guide, higher self, source, right? Now, granted, gods and goddesses and planets do have certain qualities that deal with spiritual gifts. For example, Isis, that's intuition right there. You know what I'm saying? Jupiter can help with expanding. So, like, astral projection, Jupiter can actually help with that shit. You know what I'm saying? So, what gifts? So it's like now you got to know, right? Next step, what gifts do you actually want? Do you want to activate your natural gifts? If you want like just your natural gifts, I would recommend talking to your spirit guides or to your higher self, because that's just purely you type shit. So if you're activating these parts of yourself, you know what I'm saying? Those are your own natural gifts. Do you want specific ones like intuition? Okay, well then shit. Talk to motherfucking what's it called? Talk to motherfucking Isis or a set, you know what I'm saying? Do you want clairvoyance? You could talk to a fucking crystal, my nigga. Opalite, and be like, yo, crystal, help me get clairvoyance, you know what I'm saying? Because crystals could be used to make portals. It could be used to activate energies inside of yourself. They could be used for all different kinds of things. Pray to the crystal and program that shit, you know what I'm saying? Do you want astral projection? Talk to Jupiter. And then you'll be like, hey, spirit guides, you feel them? Please help me activate my natural abilities. Please come to me and show me signs of what I'm naturally good at. And when I discover what I'm naturally good at, please help me to strengthen that ability. Show me different practices, whether they come in the form of videos, in the form of books, in the form of thoughts and impulses. Give me different ways to understand myself and my own gifts. You know what I'm saying? And of course, as I'm saying that, you hear the fucking animal going off outside. If you can't hear it, then my bad. But there's an animal going off right now. You know what I'm saying? As I did that prayer and stuff like that. And that's how shit be working. Literally, that's a confirmation for you. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, bro. Next, manifestation, right? Same protocol. What you talking to? You know what I'm saying? Now, like here's an example. Ptah. Ptah deals with manifestation, because Ptah is really the creator being in Egypt. You know what I'm saying? You have creator, sustainer, and observer, right? Ptah is the creator. You know what I'm saying? And when it comes to Ptah, right? Ptah actually deals with your own consciousness and your own intelligence, right? That also uses the power of will, aka Sekhmet, to make the beautiful creation, aka Nefertum, right? Which is a symbol of a baby horse touching its mouth over top of a lotus, right? You know what I'm saying? Touching its mouth because the mouth symbolizes will and having control over your will and your speech and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And the lotus is for detachment and stuff like that, because like whatever you create, you should be detached. You gotta be detached from your own creations, especially because while creating it, you can't have it. You can't be like, I want it to be this way exactly. You know what I'm saying? If you're detached, you allow it to be any kind of way that's best for that creation. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta be detached from that shit also. You know what I'm saying? And then yeah, so Ptah can help with that shit. You know what I'm saying? With creation and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Also, the fucking source, bro. The source is the source of creation. If you want to create, why not talk to the source of all creation? You know what I'm saying? So next, decide, what do you want to manifest? Do you want to manifest love? Well, shit, talk to Venus. You know what I'm saying? Do you want to manifest wealth? Shit, talk to Lakshmi. That's the goddess of wealth and prosperity and stuff like that in India. You know what I'm saying? You want to just manifest your dream life? Talk to your higher self for spirit guides. You know what I'm saying? Bam. Once that happens, start your prayer. Hey, spirit guides, can you please help me manifest my highest reality and stuff like that? Higher self, help me manifest my highest reality. Show me the things that I must do. Show me the things I must get rid of. Show me what needs to happen for me to manifest my highest reality. You know what I'm saying? Show me what my highest reality even looks like. Show me the path I need to follow. You know what I'm saying? All that type of shit. Bam. Pray for better connection. You know what I'm saying? If you want to pray for better connection, right? Same shit. I want to talk to Jupiter. You know what I'm saying? And also, know what connection you want. Do you want emotional connection, which is what this is mainly for? Or do you want like intellectual connection, being able to actually understand it and know it on like an intellectual level? Because some people could like feel some shit, but they can't explain it at all. And some can explain it, but they can't actually feel it. Some could do both. So you may be like, hey, Jupiter, I want to be able to better connect to you emotionally. I want to be able to actually feel whenever your energy is in my presence. I want to be able to actually feel you and be able to summon you off feeling any single time that I want to. Or you could be like, I want to be able to actually understand you on an intellectual level. I want to be able to actually be able to properly intellectualize what you represent. I want to understand you as a concept. I want to understand you and be able to put you into words. You know what I'm saying? You could do that. You could do that shit also. You know what I'm saying? Then you have praying, forgiving, love, and stuff like that. Spirit God, I just want to say thank you. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate everything that you do for me and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? I want to show the utmost gratitude. You know what I'm saying? I remember when you guys helped me with this one experience. Thank you so much for that. You know what I'm saying? Allow me to just feel a whole bunch of love and appreciation for you guys. I thank you so much. You know what I'm saying? Whatever, you know? Bam. So, hopefully, bro, the vid didn't cut off. Hopefully, the camera's on me. Hopefully, I don't fucking know, bro. I hope this shit got recorded, bro, because my throat is, you know what I'm saying? This was the 4th time, bro. Look, man, I love y'all, bro. It's been your boy Dot from Dominant Coaching and Entertainment. Coaching down below. All my links down below. It's the end of the video. It's the end of the video. And guess what? I love you, bro. And broette. Peace.